I'm using my Sony Handycam this time because I was doing rail fanning to do the progress report on the new parking garage MBTA station here in North Leominster. And of course, as you can see, we're up here on the tracks, and they were supposed to start work on February because we had much warmer than normal conditions in terms of the weather. At about March 12th, they actually started work by prepping the area, putting up fencing and what have not. And apparently they didn't get the notice, or they kept to the original schedule of starting work in April, for which they actually did, as promised, mid-April, started work. I'm also using my Handycam because it's a little better in the wind, and it's quite windy. Anyway, here's the progress. There are the construction trailers, and here's what we have. They have actually started digging up the pavement, as you can see here. And there's another large piece of excavating equipment, and there's a smaller piece. Now, they're supposedly going to have this all ripped out by May 4th for the official groundbreaking for the new parking garage. It's supposed to be 3 stories, and I believe it would come out directly onto this platform. Now, you might notice that it's a long uphill and a slight downward hill down there. That is actually not original grade. The original grade follows the street that you see there. In fact, it completely disappears. It's actually relatively flat. This was pretty much made so that it would meet the tracks up here. Because what you don't know is that this is an elevated track system. Originally, this elevated system was a wood structure, but a very long time ago, the structure failed and a train fell. So then they changed it over from all wood to a dirt elevated system. In fact, if you really look over here, you can see that it drops off. So this hill that was made to meet up ultimately to here is not original. Now, you've seen the picture I've posted before. It looks like it might actually follow this fake hill. I'm not 100% sure on that. Then again, there's kind of an advantage to that because they get a natural ramp up to the 2nd level, and then they just follow it for the 3rd. While the track is closed, I should say the track, while this parking lot is completely closed off, they have started shuttle service from the mall at Whitney Field. Now, some of the other things that they have done recently is, we can see right here, there used to be a Mart bus stand right here. That's gone. And the newspaper stands have been moved to here. There's the sign at Nashua Street. So you can see it goes back down again. It's a hill, but it's not this artificial one that was created. So, in order to get to the station, they built a little ramp alongside the far edge for which you can use to gain access. And that's what this is. And as you can see here, we got construction fence along the sides. And we have these wonderful wooden 1x3 railings. And it's covered with duct tape so you don't get splinters. In fact, if you look right here, you can see, what? The train? You gotta come around. It's held together with ties, and duct tape. Someone was wondering how to get to the train station. By the way, this property right here is a private business, and they should have put up much bigger signs in this private property. No T parking. And we got a police officer right here who is telling people that they can't park there. This came apart. So you can't park here. However, the shuttle bus does come here. Here it is from this side. So you can see there's the street grade there. There's the artificial grade, which you can see right now if I move up just a little bit because of all this construction debris here. The grade was simply made to meet up with this elevated track. And here's the first sign that people should see, but they probably don't. It says, no T parking. And here's the T logo to let you know this is where you enter. More trains you enter here. And here's a service reading. Pause if you want to read it. 3, 2, 1, done. Now there are some private property no trespassing signs. However, near the other end, they get a little more amusing. And again, here's a sign for the commuter rail and the MART system. Across the street we go. And we get to see what's going on over here. Again, you get a better look at this artificial grade. All of that wall is artificial. That hill never existed. It was, the whole grade was level with this street. And speaking of the shuttle, there's the next shuttle for the next train. They are the only ones allowed to park there. They did other prep work, which it appears kind of like a reddish, dark reddish pink here, but in real life it's a very bright fluorescent pink. Got some markings. I believe that is for steel, the steel frame of the garage. Not 100% sure. So once again, as we're walking along here, not sure if the parking garage is going to follow either the street grade or the newly made hill for the original station, which was built in 2004. And here's where they start getting a little humorous. Beware of dogs, which don't exist. And there's one more no trespassing sign further down. There it's telling you how to get to the commuter rail. Safety counts. We are counting you to arrive home safely. So are they. And here's, right in front of the trailers, here's the last one that is rather humorous, sort of. Beware of Ted. Apparently the foreman. Anywho. So you can see we're supposed to be getting some rain. It's the April 20th right now. They got this all blockaded with hay bales and some rocks to help with runoff, because there will be some along the way. And here's a better view of the demolition thus far. And that's what we have for you right now. And sometime after the groundbreaking, we'll have another update for you around May 4th or so. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed.